So welcome all of you. So today we'll start the session called how to write feature files using Cucumber syntax. Okay. So it's very useful for everyone. Like they can implement the concept, and I will share all the necessary things, and you will get a good understanding how to write good feature files. Okay. Also, I will cover all the syntax, how it works, and everything. After this session, I believe you will have no doubt on the feature file writing, and smoothly you can write your feature file on your particular domain, application, whatever. Okay. So let's start the session. So today's high level agenda is what is Cucumber feature file, important keywords in Cucumber feature file, what is parameters in Cucumber, what is the use of parameter passing, how to pass parameter in Cucumber with example, and how to pass parameter in Cucumber without example. So this session would be for 1 hour, and I will try to complete all the agendas. So come to next slide. So before I move to next slide, I just want to say like what is Cucumber feature file. So we all know little about how what is feature file or what is how it works. So feature file, Cucumber feature file is nothing. It's an entry point of a test for anything on Cucumber. So if you want to implement, yeah, the Cucumber, okay, like, so you need a feature file. So any feature file you can create feature file anywhere, like notepad plus plus, or uh, you can even write the feature file on your id. It could be like IntelliJ, or it could be your Eclipse. So let me just quickly launch my IntelliJ so that you will get the good understanding how it works. Okay. So it will take some time to launch that id. Okay. So there are few keywords, okay, special keywords in feature file that will also I will explain. So now come to the second slide. So this is Gherkin syntax. Okay. When you say Gherkin syntax, it's a kind of a Gherkin is a kind of a not a language, but it's a help business to understand and to write their behavior. So especially those who are from non-technical people, like domain, or they don't understand the technology and all. So this is only the syntax with Gherkin keywords, where they can write their requirement, their expectation, or their user actions. Based on that, they can use the syntax called like Gherkin syntax. So you can see there are few syntax called, one is given, when, then, and, but, or. So these are these are the keywords. These are called as a keywords in Gherkin. So with the help of this keyword, okay, you will write your feature file. Okay. Now when I say given, so what is the meaning of given? So given is always comes at first. Whenever you write any feature file, the given will always come at first, because it's a entry point to that particular application or particular feature. Okay. So for example, you want to check the Gmail functionality. For take example, you want a Gmail functionality. So given means a precondition thing. Okay, you do not need any condition on that. So that kind of things or keyword is called a given. So what would be the given? Like when I launch browser. Okay. So when you launch any browser, you do not need any condition. Simply you can, launch the browser. Okay. So or yeah, I am on, home page. Okay. So home page, like Gmail, account or Gmail page. So for example, suppose I just open, browser and I will put like Gmail. Okay. So this is I'm taking example for Gmail. So we'll write end to end, steps using Gherkin syntax. Just it may take some time. Okay. So when you open Gmail, okay, you can get this kind of page. Okay. So your system, like simply your browser will open this page. Now whatever you can see, these are action required. Okay. So a user, you have to enter some data, then only you will get a the other steps. So for that, so always remember, given is always the predefined steps which do not require any any condition. Okay, in that case it will be always given. Now when I say that when, what is the use of when? Okay, so when I say when is a user action always. Say when means the action what user is going to enter. Okay, this is only called the action. So always remember, after given, the next keyword should be when. So when is the action. Okay, and when I say then would be always the expected result. Okay, then cannot be a user action. Always remember, then is always the expected result. So when I use and keyword, so and keyword can be used with then also. If you have multiple expected result, so you can write then. After then, if you are adding and, that means it will refer as a expected result. At the same time, when you are using when and after when, that is also as a user action. So that means you may have multiple user action. That's why it is, you can use and as a, and it will represent when. Okay, and these two keywords are not very frequently used keyword. Okay, first one is the but is, suppose there are few things. Suppose I open this Gmail and my but condition would be like right now I can see the Google page, right? But I should not see this Google as something else. The logo should come, but I don't want. Suppose there may be one requirement. You don't want uh, this sign in button. Okay, for example, or Google comes in some different way or different logo. So here the but statement would be, I don't want any other pop-ups. Or suppose like you can mention like I don't want any other advertisement or pop-up on the Google uh, screen page. Okay, if you have that kind of requirement or expected, you want a expected result, then you can use a but. Okay, or also it's a very we do not use most of the time. Okay, it's a very like or the example would be, there would be a two condition. I suppose for example on Google page itself, Gmail page itself, I want, if Google logo is coming, it's okay. If not, then also okay, no issue. In that case, mostly we use this keyword. Okay, So that is your own requirement. Based on the requirement, okay, you can just have these words. So now we'll try to create a given when then that the feature file in Node. So Notepad plus plus is the best, you know, compared to Notepad. Okay. So I will just going to cover this one. Let me open a new file. Okay. So this is for new. So very first thing, what is this? So it is feature. Always it should be feature. Any feature file, when you write, the first keyword, and feature is a keyword, and after feature you need the syntax should be correct always. Okay, so feature you will write this way. After this I am writing the feature is Gmail uh, functionality, functionality test. Okay, this is my feature. So under Gmail, there are so many things I can do. Logging feature is there, compose a new mail feature is there, inbox is there, sent item is there, draft is there, right? A lot of features I can test. So this is feature represents the high level of the functionality. So now the very next thing is coming, scenario. Okay. So scenario, what is scenario? So when you say scenario, this is something like all the possible way to test that functionality. Okay, so scenario is nothing, it's just a all the possible way to test this Gmail functionality. This is called scenario. So we know, right, there are few scenario like negative scenario, positive scenario. That means we can check the functionality with the help of scenario. So scenario is Gmail, I'm writing end-to-end or just a logging feature. Okay, this is the scenario. For example, so I will write uh, to verify that the user is able to logging with valid credential. Okay, this is my scenario. So to verify that the user is able to log in with a valid credential. Now the keyword will start. So the very first, always it should be given. Whenever you write any feature file, the very first keyword should be given. Given is precondition. So here what would be the precondition? User is on Gmail page. So to launch the Gmail page, you do not need any criteria, right? So you can simply you can write in your own pattern. So I'm just writing, so that you can understand. So user is on Gmail page. Now after given, the very next step would be always when. When means user action. Always remember, when means user action. So I would say when I enter email or phone number. Okay, so when user enter, okay, email or phone number, this is the step. When once I enter, suppose I am entering this, okay, after that your next step is click on next button, right? So now I already mentioned that whenever you are continuing when statement, you will use and. Now this is also action. So you, instead of writing when, you can use and. Now you will write when user clicks on next button. when user clicks on next button. Now what is coming? Now it's asking for my password. Now I will say, and user enters password. Okay, so I will enter my password. I enter, I have to click on next button. So again I will say, and user enters, user clicks on next button. But here one thing you always remember, this is the rule in Gherkin, or in feature file. You cannot repeat the same line twice, more than one time. Okay, because it's not permissible. Okay, so but I have to click on the next button only. I have no choice. I can't write anything, right? And the next keyword should be there, but the same line cannot repeat it. So here you can see I have already written this line here. Again, I am writing this line here, right? So this is not permissible. So what I can do, I can only able to make modify the sentence, so that sentence will get unique, right? It will not duplicate. So what I will say, user clicks on next button again, that means it's not repeated, right? So I am adding another like word again, so this is also unique. So I will just click. Okay, so after entering and click on the next button, what is my result? I should successfully log into Gmail. This is my expected result, right? So what I would say now, it would be always then when you are expecting some result, in that case you will always use then. So now user is uh, login to Gmail account fully. So this is my then statement. So then statement is your expected result. Okay, so then always remember, then is your expected result, when is your action result. You can have a multiple action. Okay, so in that case you will always use and keyword. So and the final result you are expecting, then that means your expected result. So you may have a different more than one expected result. In that case also you can use and keyword. If you are so suppose in this case you are writing, after launching to Google account, I should see Gmail logo, for example. Then you will use user should see Gmail logo on left side. Okay, so I'm just writing for your understanding what so this is what. So after then also you can add n. Now this is the scenario. Okay, so scenario, we know what is feature, what is scenario, and how you start. So always remember, there are few things I would repeat again. Rules while writing feature file. First, uh, any line cannot be repeated twice. Okay, every line should be unique line first. Second thing, always the given statement should be on top. After that, after given, the following keyword is when, then you can add then. But you can't add like then statement after you know this, it is not valid. Okay, so and the third thing is, on each and every feature file or every scenario, like not feature file, for every scenario you can only use given statement once. Okay, given statement you can't use twice for the same scenario. For different scenario, obviously you can use it, but for single scenario, given only, you can use one time. So this is called the functionality. I have already written, so I am able to successfully, log into the Gmail account. Now there are few more important things. If I navigate to this slide, okay. So example of feature file like tag you can use. Okay. So there are few things like feature we already explained, Gmail functionality. Now this is one thing, keyword is background. Suppose you want uh, like different user, okay, or different user will check the same. Okay, so same thing. Suppose for example, I want this Gmail, or let's take example, I'm doing negative testing on that, for example. So I enter invalid invalid email and password. Okay, I enter invalid password. Obviously I will not able to launch, right? Then what would be my expected result? User should get error. Okay, error. Or okay, this is just I'm writing for your understanding. You all know, right, what happened when we enter incorrect password, or like ID. So this is my expected result now. So user should get error, and user should see some error pop up. Okay, this is my expected. Now how I can use a background keyword on that? So background keyword I can use. So always remember, you will use background keyword before the scenario. Okay, don't write background after the scenario, because it will give you error. So always write background keyword before the scenario start. Now I am writing background. Background means you do not want to repeat some common lines, okay, again and again. So now we'll check what are the common lines. So first you can see the given statement is there, right? So see, this is the scenario. I have to copy paste again, because this is a different scenario. User is suppose not able to logging with invalid invalid credential. This is my scenario. So this is different scenario. So I already told, like, given you can use for once for a particular scenario. So I am using given twice for two different scenario, right? So scenario, I'm putting scenario, this is one, this is two. Now background means I don't want to repeat, or I don't want to write the same line again and again. Okay, so now if you see, the common line from both the thing is user login to this. So I will just copy this one. Okay, I don't want to repeat this line. So I would say this, user is on Gmail, right? I don't want user, should log in again. I have to write. So this is one. And now this is completely different, right? When user enters email and password, when user enters invalid email, so I can, there is an option, I can enter valid, I can enter invalid. Also the lines are not match, right? In that case I will not keep as a background, because it will not work for both the cases. Only background can be happen if the line is similar for all the scenarios. In that case it will happen. Okay, so this is only the use of the background keyword. Okay, now come to the PPT. So there are scenario we saw, and feature we saw. Description is nothing. If you want to write anything, right, any description you want to write about some, description can be anything, like you want to write some high level in details. or anything. Okay, you can write under the description. Now tags. What is tags? So mostly a manual tester, they do not use tag. Okay, so tag mostly used by the automation tester. So suppose there are two scenarios, but I will just explain what is the use of tag. So maybe there are multiple n number of scenarios. You want to segregate. I want this first scenario would be part of my regression, and second would be part of my smoke testing. So using tag, okay, sorry. So tag will help you to understand, okay, what you want. I want regression. So the syntax is like this, okay, and so at the rate, after that whatever you are writing, this will represent as a tag. So while doing the automation, whenever you are writing a script and try to run, whenever you use a tag, so it will only execute this one. Okay, it will not going to work on this. So tag you will use based on your requirement. Okay, so which one you want as a tag? So suppose I want tag this for this. Okay, so I will put tag for this, so it will like work. So this is the use of tag. Okay, now one more thing, we have one more thing, not to repeat the test case. Okay, in one feature file itself you can test for multiple users. In that time, this is called the example table. Okay, so for example table, what would be scenario? So that time scenario will become as a scenario outline. Whenever you are putting scenario outline, you have to put examples. So this is the keyword. Again, examples is also keyword, outline is also keyword. Now I want, what you want to log in, what you data you need, for logging in Gmail. First you need user ID, for example. Okay, I am putting user ID, and what you need, password. So password I am putting, and I'm putting user. So always do one best practice. This is not like something you can put anything like this format. Always use the first word in lower class. Uh, so it is very good. Okay, so user ID and password. Now when you write user ID and password, and you have to put your data. So data, for example, I'm putting test123 at the rate gmail.com. This is my one data. I want to log in with this. Now the password like test123. Okay. Now again one more data I want, test 555 at the rate gmail.com, and test 999. Okay, so you can add multiple data based on your requirement. Whatever you want, you can put a data. Now when you put examples, you have to also parameterize. Okay, what you have to do, wherever you see enter your invalid email or phone number. Okay, you can uh, parameterize. So for that you will use like, as I want to put this data, so under double quote, less than greater than symbol, and use this one. So what it will refer, it will directly go first to this one data. You will pick this data as a email address. Okay, and after that, wherever you see the password, for example, I will say password as, I will just copy this one under double quote, less than greater than symbol, I will put this. So now you can see, so I do not need to hard code what password I need. Okay, I will simply just pass this data based on the line by line. It will go and it will execute. Okay, so this is called you know uh, example table. So what is the benefit of this? You do not need to repeat the same test case for different user, okay, or with the different data. Same things you can repeat for multiple number of users. So this is only the good practice, and this is a good valid benefit or very good thing about the Gherkin syntax or feature file. So with the help of one scenario itself, you can able to pass or you can able to test multiple set of data. Okay, this is only like benefit using this, but you have to remember all these things. So after double quote, you are passing after this double quote and less than greater than, you are just parameterize. These are the parameterized and mapped. It will take these examples. Okay, so this is one with the example, and parameterize without example also you can do. For that, anywhere, suppose this is one example and I want my email or as a parameter. Okay, this also you can do. Okay, so it will always trigger as a string, so you can make changes on your email and address. So while doing automation, who will be doing, he will just pass the value over here. Okay, he will just pass the value over here and it will get changed. But this is also not a good practice. So the best practice is using the table example. When you have multiple user needs to check for that particular things, not even for logging, you can add as an example anything whatever you want. Okay, you can pass data based on your requirement, so you have to just pass the data. That's it. So this is the call the benefit of the feature file. You can write easily, but uh, a few people, they feel difficulties while writing this feature file, because one thing, whenever you write, the best practice, or I would recommend, whenever you write feature file, at the same time just navigate to your functions. So when I say, when user enters valid invalid email address, be like on the same page while writing, so you will not miss any steps. Okay, so it would be it will, you will remember all these steps, and it would be very easy to understand to write with the like, if you know application well, obviously you can write. But if someone who doesn't know good, who doesn't have a good knowledge about the application, they just step by step, you know parallelly, you just switch from here to there. So logging there, type I logged in, click on there, type here I click in. So this is only the way. And always remember, the given only the precondition. Okay, this is only used once at a time for a particular scenario. When is always your action, where whatever you do, I click or I save, I navigate, whatever you do using mouse, okay, or you enter, this is always come under when statement. Always, irrespective whatever you do with the help of mouse or you enter some data, always it would be when. And then is always would be the result. It never be your action. So when I click, okay, that is the correct sentence or step. Then I click, no, then should be always after clicking what happened. If you are getting some pop-ups, some new forms, coming to your window, or you some save some data, or you got some pop-up based on the data feeding, that is always your expected results. So I hope you understand it well, or I am able to explain you all the things. So I would recommend, do practice, write some feature file on that. Okay, based on your requirement, you can take any example, Google, Facebook, whatever, Gmail, whatever you do, write a feature file. If you get any doubt, you can comment or you can ask me. I think you understand. If you understand the uses of this keyword, obviously you can write a feature file very nice way. You will not get stuck anywhere. Seriously. Okay. So for today, we are going to end up this session. Okay. So thank you for joining. Let me stop recording, and if you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you, all of you.